Hello Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. The bosom changed everything. She made beauty bolder, and the world took notice. That quote, once spoken about June Wilkinson, perfectly captures the impact she had over decades in the spotlight. June Wilkinson, a British-born icon, passed away peacefully at the age of 85. Her daughter confirmed her death after a short illness. Her presence lit up the world of modeling, film, and pop culture. She redefined glamour at a time when few dared. Discovered by Hugh Hefner while touring the U.S., June's debut in Playboy's pages left an unforgettable mark. Though never officially named a Playmate, she became one of the most photographed women of her era. With her signature curves and radiant charm, she earned the nickname The Bosom, setting a new standard of allure. But her journey started much earlier. On the stages of London's Windmill Theatre, she danced before she was even old enough to drive. By 15, she had already broken barriers. That strength followed her throughout her career. Her talents reached beyond the camera lens. She starred in cult classics of the 1960s, recorded music, and produced projects that reflected her creative spirit. June remained active in the business, respected for her professionalism, strong sense of self, and her support for young talent. Friends often spoke of her warmth and grace behind the scenes. She was a trailblazer with a kind heart, stern when needed but always generous. Many admired not just what she accomplished, but how she carried herself while doing it. In later years, she stepped back from Hollywood and focused on family. Her bond with her daughter was deep and unwavering. That devotion earned her admiration both on and off set. Colleagues and fans around the world are paying tribute to her legacy. As one admirer wrote, June didn't just pose for cameras, she posed for a movement. She leaves behind a legacy that lives in film reels, photo archives, and the memories of those she inspired. Her influence on modern modeling, body positivity, and artistic expression will never fade. Tributes to June Wilkinson. Number 6. With grit in his heart and the desert in his soul, Walker Evans built a legacy that changed motorsports forever. His tire tracks carved paths across rugged terrains and racing history books alike. For more than 50 years, he didn't just race, he defined what it meant to compete off-road. Walker's influence began with an unexpected break as a substitute driver in the Baja 500, filling in for a team backed by actor James Garner. That victory set fire to a lifelong passion. It wasn't long before the name Walker Evans became synonymous with greatness in off-road racing. Across his storied career, he earned 142 wins and 21 hard-fought championship titles. From the unforgiving Baja 1000 to the legendary Mint 400, he conquered them all. He also left his mark on the Mickey Thompson Stadium Series, SOTA, and Core circuits, collecting more titles and fans each year. In 1995, Walker brought his talents to NASCAR's Super Truck Series. Behind the wheel and as a team owner, he helped bridge off-road grit with stock car prestige, earning respect in both arenas. His accolades were more than trophies. 3 of the sport's most important halls, the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame, the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America, and the SEMA Hall of Fame, all opened their doors to honor his extraordinary life. Off the track, Walker was known for his warm heart and generous nature. He mentored rising talent, built top-tier racing equipment, and never stopped investing in the sport he loved. Sadly, Walker Evans passed away at 86. He died peacefully after a life of passion, achievement, and adventure. Former IndyCar champion Paul Tracy summed up what many feel today. Thank you for being a true pioneer and inspiration. You will be missed by so many. Though he's no longer with us, Walker's spirit still roars across the desert plains and echoing grandstands. His legacy lives on in every racer he inspired, every wheel he designed, and every race he helped define. Tributes to Walker Evans. Number 5. She believed in beauty with purpose, elegance with substance. That's how those closest to Hillary Weston often described her, a graceful presence in every room, and a force behind some of the most beloved institutions in both Ireland and Canada. Hillary passed away peacefully in England at 83. Her family shared that she had been facing health challenges in recent months, which she met with the same resilience she brought to every chapter of her life. Born in Dublin, Hillary began her journey in the world of fashion as a model, but she was never content just being in front of the lens. Her vision stretched far beyond. When she and her husband Galen Weston began rebuilding Todd Burns into the first penny store, she took the lead with hands-on dedication. That original venture would grow into the global brand Primark. With Brown Thomas, Hillary reimagined luxury retail in Ireland. As vice chair of Holt Renfrew, she brought the same creativity and elegance to Canadian fashion, and through her roles supporting Fortnum and Mason and Loblaws, her impact could be felt across industries and countries. But Hillary's heart always came back to service. After moving to Toronto in the early 70s, she embraced her new home with open arms. As Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, she worked to lift communities. She founded the Ireland Fund of Canada, supporting peace and unity at a time it was truly needed. From environmental education to children's learning initiatives, her efforts built better futures. She was a devoted wife, mother, and grandmother. Loved ones describe her as thoughtful, wise, and relentlessly kind. Ireland's Tánaiste called her a visionary whose philanthropy touched communities on both sides of the Atlantic. Hillary is survived by her husband Galen, their children Galen Jr. and Alana, and her cherished grandchildren. She leaves behind not only iconic businesses and institutions, but a lesson in how success and compassion can go hand in hand. Her legacy is stitched into the fabric of both fashion and giving. Tributes to Hillary Weston. Number 4. Her strength lay not in loud declarations, but in quiet precision. She knew the stakes, and she never backed down. Sandy Grimes, a name etched into the heart of American intelligence, passed away peacefully at the age of 80. The cause was complications related to a brief illness. A master of calm under pressure, Sandy helped rewrite the course of counterintelligence history. Her remarkable work inside the CIA uncovered one of the most damaging betrayals the agency had ever faced. Starting humbly as a clerical assistant fluent in Russian, Sandy rose to a leadership role in a field dominated by secrecy and shadows. But her defining chapter came with the path to Aldrich Ames. Alongside her colleague and friend Jean Verdefeuille, Sandy followed a trail of anomalies, unexplained wealth, strange meetings, and growing doubts. Their work led to Ames's arrest in 1994 and helped end a dangerous era of espionage that had cost many lives. This wasn't just a job for her. It was a duty. Behind every report and late night in the office were American assets whose safety depended on her insight and care. Her story reached a wider audience with the book she co-wrote, Circle of Treason, recounting the twisting investigation with clarity and honesty. That account later inspired the miniseries The Assets, bringing her vital work to television screens. Still, Sandy was more than the mole hunter she became known for. She was a mentor, friend, and guiding light for many who followed in her path. Known for her keen mind and fierce quiet, she taught by example and inspired with action. She was a trailblazer, said one former colleague. Steady, brilliant, and absolutely committed to truth and justice. She is survived by her loving husband, 2 daughters, and 4 grandchildren, all of whom she dearly cherished. Tributes poured in from across the intelligence world, honoring Sandy not just for her successes, but for who she was: strong, sharp, and steadfast. In a profession defined by secrecy, her courage and integrity still shine. Tributes to Sandy Grimes. Number 3. He made records that made you move and taught us what soul sounded like in the streets. DJ Premier. The world of hip-hop lost one of its quiet giants with the passing of Howard Thompson, best known as Hitman Howie T. He died peacefully at age 61 after a brief illness. A true pioneer, Howie T helped define the golden era of hip-hop and R&B. With a sampler in hand and rhythm in his blood, he turned raw beats into radio gold. Born in London to Jamaican parents and raised in Brooklyn's East Flatbush, Howie T took early inspiration from the block party DJs of his neighborhood. That spark led him to CD3 and soon to the heart of a movement that changed music. As Select Records' go-to producer, his signature sound merged funky samples and street flavor. He helped launch the careers of legends like Special Ed, Chubb Rock, UTFO, and The Real Roxanne. I Got It Made and Treat 'Em Right remain two of the most beloved hip-hop anthems of their time, and they carry his touch. His influence didn't stop at hip-hop. In the early 90s, he delivered crossover hits like Color Me Bads, I Wanna Sex You Up, and All For Love, taking his production style to the top of the charts and into global pop culture. His resume stretched from Madonna and Heavy D to Patra and Little Sean, always bringing soulful depth to every track. But perhaps his greatest gift was mentoring others. He inspired a generation of producers, including East Flatbush Project's Spencer Bellamy. Salam Remy said, "Nicest dude who took time to look out for many, including myself. Howie T's music made the world dance, but his kindness made people feel seen. He was a builder of sound and spirit, a man who crafted timeless vibes while always lifting others up. He is survived by his immediate family and remembered by an entire industry that feels smaller without him. His work, however, continues to speak, in every beat, echo, and lyric he helped shape. His legacy lives not only in the songs he made, but in the lives he touched, and the culture he helped birth." Tributes to Howie T. Number 2. You couldn't fake it, he never did. That's how many describe David Roach, a voice that cut through noise with honesty and fire. David Roach, revered frontman of the hard rock band Junkyard, passed away peacefully at 62 after a courageous battle with cancer. Known for his raw vocal power, heartfelt performances, and unwavering authenticity, David's presence lit up every stage he ever stood on. Born in Dallas and raised on the sounds of Elvis and the Beatles, David's passion for music started early. In the 1980s, he followed his dream to Los Angeles. There, he co-founded Junkyard in 1987, bringing together gritty southern rock and punk edge into something unforgettable. Their debut album launched them into the spotlight, followed by fan-favorite releases like Sixes, Sevens, and Nines, and a powerful return with albums like High Water and Rome is Burning decades later. Through triumphs and changes, David remained the face and soul of the band. But it wasn't just music that defined him. David was a fighter. Even in 2025, after revealing his diagnosis of aggressive squamous cell carcinoma, he stayed strong. Fans rallied, and David remained open, brave, and generous despite his illness. Just weeks before passing, he married his beloved partner Jennifer Michael Roach, surrounding himself with love and hope in his final days. His bandmates remembered him not only as a gifted artist, but as a loyal husband, father, and friend. In their words, he carried the heart of rock and roll with him wherever he went. David's voice moved people, but his kindness kept them close. He built lasting bonds with fans, fellow musicians, and his community. Loyalty, grit, and heart. That was David Roach. He didn't care about being perfect. He cared about being real. He leaves behind his wife Jennifer, his family, and a devoted global fan base. His music lives on in every roaring chorus, every sweaty concert memory, and in the courage of artists breaking boundaries like he did. David Roach's legacy is not just in the records he made, but in the lives he touched. A storyteller, a force, a friend. Tributes to David Roach. What's trending on the internet? News 1. When people talk about unforgettable movie legends, Michael Madsen's name shines bright. And now, the world's celebrating his life in a very special way. Just last Friday in Los Angeles, famed director Quentin Tarantino gathered friends, family, and fans at the iconic Vista Theater to pay tribute to Madson, who passed away last month at age 67. Tarantino fondly recalled their early days filming Reservoir Dogs back in 1992, sharing that despite some dramatic moments on set, Madson's loyalty and support made all the difference for a young director. The bond between these two lasted a lifetime, with Madson starring in 5 of Tarantino's films and leaving an unforgettable mark on cinema. Beyond the big screen, Tarantino and movie lovers are remembering Michael not only for his legendary roles but for his warmth, integrity, and unwavering friendship. While we'll dearly miss his presence, Michael Madson's spirit and those iconic performances will keep inspiring moviegoers for generations to come. News 2. Here's a story that reminds us how every life can leave an imprint of inspiration. Martin Latchman, a 38-year-old British man from Milton Keynes, recently traveled to Istanbul, Turkey for a second hair transplant procedure. Martin, who spent 16 years as a teacher before transitioning to a defense contractor role, was known among his friends and loved ones for his passion for running and his uplifting spirit. While preparing for his treatment at a well-respected clinic, Martin suddenly became unwell, and despite immediate hospital care, tragically passed away. His family and former students have described him as a motivating force, someone whose encouragement touched many lives. While this loss is deeply saddening, Martin will be remembered for the positivity he shared and the inspiration he gave to all who knew him. Let's honor his legacy by carrying forward a little extra kindness and encouragement in our own daily lives. News 3. Here's a story that's captured a lot of attention online. Elizabeth Holmes, the once high-flying CEO behind Theranos, has been photographed working out at federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas, where she's been serving her sentence since last year at age 41. These new images show Holmes jogging in the rec yard dressed in workout gear, keeping up a daily fitness routine as part of her efforts to focus on her health and well-being while incarcerated. Holmes, convicted for her role in the Theranos scandal, has found ways to stay grounded, starting her mornings before sunrise, lifting weights, and running nearly every day. Beyond exercise, she's also been supporting other inmates as a law clerk, helping women secure compassionate release and offering comfort to those in need. Even as she faces a long road ahead, Holmes dedicates her time to personal growth and cherishes weekend visits with her 2 young children, keeping family photos close to her heart in her dormitory. While her story is rooted in controversy, it's clear that Elizabeth Holmes is focusing on resilience and service during this chapter of her life. Her journey reminds us that even in the toughest places, perseverance and care for others can offer a path forward, and those personal connections continue to inspire hope for brighter days ahead. News 4. If you grew up watching wrestling with family or friends, this one may bring back some memories. MetLife Stadium was filled with emotion at this year's WWE SummerSlam as the wrestling world paused to honor the legendary Hulk Hogan. Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, passed away recently at the age of 71, leaving behind a remarkable legacy that touched millions. In a touching moment during the event, Hogan's son Nick, just 35 years old, attended alongside his wife Tana Leah. As WWE announcer Michael Cole paid tribute to Hulk's enormous impact on the sport, Nick was seen visibly holding back tears, his hand on his chest and a prayerful motion to the sky, sharing his gratitude and love in front of a cheering sea of fans. Hulk Hogan wasn't just a superstar in the ring, he was a beloved father to Nick and Brooke, and he helped carry professional wrestling into the limelight for over 3 decades. Though we say goodbye to an icon, Hulk Hogan's larger-than-life presence and the joy he brought fans young and old will be a part of our memories for years to come. And as everyone at SummerSlam made clear, Hulkamania lives on in the hearts of wrestling fans everywhere. News 5. Imagine looking out your window one evening in Russia's remote Kamchatka region and witnessing a sight not seen in more than 600 years, the mighty Crashenikov Volcano awakening with a burst of ash and glowing lava. Locals saw this rare natural event unfold after a powerful earthquake earlier in the week, marking the volcano's first eruption since the early 1400s. Emergency officials quickly alerted residents in nearby villages, advising everyone to stay safe and keep their distance from the coast due to small tsunami waves. Thankfully, no serious injuries have been reported, and the community remains well prepared and hopeful. Moments like these remind us of our planet's wonders and the resilience of those who call these beautiful wild places home. The memory of this incredible eruption will surely inspire awe and bring communities together, celebrating the strength of nature and the people living alongside it. News 6. Welsh rock legend Dave Edmunds, beloved by generations for his classic hit I Hear You Knocking, is facing a critical health battle at the age of 80. His wife, Cece, recently shared that Dave suffered a major cardiac arrest at their Rockfield home in Monmouthshire. Thanks to heroic efforts by Cece and a nurse on the scene, Dave was revived after briefly passing away, but he is now in the hospital with serious health challenges, including brain damage and memory loss. Cece has expressed deep gratitude for the outpouring of prayers and kindness from fans and friends, saying the support makes this difficult journey just a bit easier. As we send warm wishes to Dave and his loved ones, let's honor his incredible musical legacy, a soundtrack to so many cherished memories, and keep his family close in our thoughts. News 7. Shaki Richardson, the 24-year-old Olympic gold medalist and world champion sprinter, recently faced a challenging moment at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Authorities say Shaki and her boyfriend, fellow track star Christian Coleman, were involved in a heated argument that led to her brief arrest for allegedly shoving him and tossing a pair of headphones his way. The incident was caught on surveillance footage, but Christian chose not to press charges, and Shaki was quickly released from custody the very next day. Despite this stressful situation, both athletes showed remarkable composure, competing in the preliminary rounds of the USA Track and Field Championships in Oregon just days later. Shaki remains an inspiring figure in American track and field, admired for her speed, resilience, and dedication. No matter the challenges she faces, she's celebrated by fans across the country, and her achievements on the track remind us of the unyielding spirit that makes sports so inspiring. Number 1. Her wisdom could shape a manuscript and a career, all in one conversation. Anne Harris, the quietly powerful force behind some of literature's greatest successes, passed away in New York at the age of 99. Gentle in voice but strong in vision, she left an unmistakable mark on the publishing world. Best known for her long career with Bantam Books, Anne guided stories from rough drafts to beloved bestsellers. Her editorial guidance helped authors discover their voice, and helped readers discover them. Across decades, she was trusted by writers, admired by peers, and deeply appreciated by generations of editors who followed in her footsteps. She built her life around books, not just as a profession, but as a calling. Yet beyond deadlines and page counts, Anne brought heart to every project. She believed in good storytelling and the people who told those stories. Colleagues still recall her mentoring with gratitude. Many credit her encouragement for helping them find confidence in a tough industry. Intellectually generous and wickedly funny, one former coworker recalled. She had an effortless charm and sharp wit, often found sharing warm laughter over lunch or brightening a late editorial meeting with a smart joke. Her adventurous spirit carried her far, on travels with her beloved Cyril, through ambitious book campaigns, and across years of change in the publishing world. Throughout it all, she held firm to her integrity, always leading with grace and care. Anne passed away peacefully, leaving behind family, dear friends, and an editorial legacy that lives in countless pages on shelves around the world. A former colleague shared, "I wish I could tell her how much I admired and respected her. She was a class act in every way. R.I.P. dear Anne." Anne Harris shaped more than books. She shaped people. She shaped the industry. And the ripple effects of her work, her mentoring and her spirit will continue for generations. Tributes to Anne Harris. It's not just the punches you throw, but the love you leave behind that defines your fight. These words, often spoken about Rahman Ali, capture the heart of a man who lived for more than the spotlight.